G'day guys, Josh here. And you know what I forgot to do? Okay, in the Lost Ark Compendiums previously when I talked about Abyssal Dungeons stuff like that. We're gonna go through the things you can do in Tier 1. Okay, so the content you can do in Tier 1. So the first thing you can do in Tier 1 is the Abyssal Dungeon. Okay, so the Abyssal Dungeon, you get a place called the Ancient Elvaria in Tier 1, which is basically the end of the Northfern questline, which has a few basic mechanics that you may have to obey and stuff like that as well. Generally, these areas have two bosses, so I think this one has two gates. It basically will tell you when you get in how many bosses there are in this area, and it'll tell you by gates on the top. So here, this area has two bosses, I believe, and this area has three bosses, okay? Or, no, I think it has two bosses as well. Both of them have two bosses, and you get gold at the end of it, okay? You get gold. You also can get some engravings as well, and class engravings, so green and blue class engravings. You can also get a material, which you can use to make the Abyss gear from the vendor, and upgrade your Tier 1 gear to the Abyss gear instead, and start honing that. You can also get unique accessories, which are a bit stronger than your current Chaos Dungeon accessories here as well, and you can equip those as well. Okay, so you can see there you get some active engraving stats. They are only available on normal for Tier 1. Hard mode and Inferno mode, basically dungeon challenges come a bit later. Now this is available from 340, so as soon as you hit 340 you can do this. And this is the reason why I said you want to hone up to 340, is that on your ults you can get extra bit of gold by doing these Abyssal Dungeons. Now, next one you want to do, which is when you go through Roandel, is that you make sure you complete the storyline as well. If you haven't, you can't do these. But this is what you call the Phantom Palace, okay? Now, also another limitation as well, that you must do the previous dungeon before you can enter here. Now, Phantom Palace is a bit more difficult, does have a lot of more challenging mechanics. So basically just be aware of it as well. Like one of the bosses where you have to hit a giant energy ball into one of the rook buildings there as well. And there's a lot of other things as well. Even this one, the Belshazzar encounter, can be quite difficult as well, where you have to like all face each other to cancel a meteorite ability, otherwise you all die. Now here as well, there's also a mirror mechanic as well that you have to do as well. It's quite fun. But this one instead, you get legendary gear, which can make you a legendary gear set for Abyssals as well. And also, some people do the old dungeons to get a chance of getting a legendary card. And also you can get gold and engravings as well around here as well. You also can get more legendary accessories. Now with the Abyss dungeons, you do not get the awards until you do all the bosses. So these tier 1 raids, if you don't clear the second gate, you don't get any rewards, okay? Period, okay? No rewards, period. You don't get any gold at all. You have to clear the entire raid, otherwise it doesn't happen. You can only do these once a week. Once you've done them once a week, you can't re-enter them, okay? Even if you disconnect. You may not get a return ticket, but you have to contact Amazon for that. If you do DC, contact Amazon right away so you can get your ticket refunded. Now, you can see here as well, once you've done with these, you can't do them again for another week, okay? And also, not to mention as well, for the gold limit, just be aware for the gold limit, you can only assign 6 characters to get the gold, okay? As you can see here. So I've got my 6 characters who've done the gold limit already. So if I try to do this on a new character, I am not eligible to get the gold. Now, basically as well with the expected rewards, you cannot go into this content if you're higher than 960R level, okay? You can go into it, it's just you won't get any gold in the rewards. It just prevents people from spamming lower level dungeons to get easy gold, okay? Instead of doing the higher level ones. So be aware of that as well. And that's pretty much like Abyss Dungeons in a nutshell. And that's what you can do in Tier 1, which is, basically Rohandel and Northfern. Now we go through the other one as well, which is going to be the cube. So you do get your basic cube tickets at the start to do the cube. And basically what the cube is basically it's a mixture of levels between killing normal mobs, killing elite mobs, killing boss mobs, killing a treasure room where you get extra loot, doing Just Survive, which is probably one of the worst ones you're going to ever do, because it means you just have to live and have to dodge a lot of explosions and stuff like that. And that's pretty much it. There's also another mode called Range Mobs as well, which basically is the same as Kill All Mobs. You have to kill all mobs and stuff like that in a certain time limit. The quicker you kill it, the more people that are alive increases your score more. And also clearing the room increases your score more as well. So like the quicker you do it, the higher points you get. And once you get 5,000 points, you get the maximum reward. So there's different chests as well. So if you wipe early, you get a bronze chest, silver chest, gold chest, platinum chest, and of course diamond chest being the last one. You get at 300 points, you get the bronze chest. At 900 points, you get the silver chest. 1.7k gold chest, 3.3k platinum, and 5k to diamond. And that's pretty much it with the cube. The cube is a mixture of levels. Generally, 9 and 10 are both boss rooms, and 14 and 15 are generally boss rooms. However, this can change based on Just Survive and elite mobs as well. So generally with Cube, you should be done within 14 or 15 stages of it. You may have to go to 16 as well. It depends, okay? And you can set this as a guild task as well. With the Cube as well, the Cube is a good source of silver and a good source of battle engravings and also supply mats for honing. But for tier 1, it's not that great because you don't use any of the honing support mats because everything is 100% rate to begin with. I could give you a bit of a tour of the cube, but like it does take about 10 to 15 minutes to do. There's 3 difficulties for each tier, so you can see here tier 1, this is the one you'll be entering, the cube. And you can get a bit of rewards here as well, like the blue engravings. You can get also the masterpieces, which are used later for gold. And as you can see here, you'll get the entrance cube. Now with the cube as well, you cannot change your gear, and also you have to make sure you get your battle items and potions stuff like that to begin with, and you cannot use the potions like the normal potions. And that's pretty much the weekly content. You can do the cube as many times as you want as long as you got a ticket. But this is many of the new content you can do beyond Chaos Dungeons and beyond Guardian Raids at tier 1. Now we're going to go through the Abyssal Challenge and Guardian Challenge modes for tier 1 as well. But we're going to go through that in another video. And I'm going to say it's a bit harder for tier 1 to do tier 1 challenge modes and Abyssal raids and stuff like that. Because they are actually quite a bit harder, but they're quite more rewarding at the same time as well. See you guys later. Peace out. Have a good one.